Hey guys, it's me again, coming to you live, but not really. So, I'm back. I am back from my Hawaii trip. Came back last Thursday. It is currently the following Wednesday, and the reason why I didn't upload anything much regarding our trip until now was because I was still recovering from the jet lag, and boy, did we have jet lag when we got home around maybe like 5:30 in the afternoon. Took a nap right away. I slept for 5 hours, woke up at 10:30 at night. Then I went to sleep again at 1 a.m. and both my girlfriend and I didn't wake up until 12:30 the following afternoon. We were dead tired, but it was a blast. It was a trip, both literally and metaphorically. We were in Maui for 10 days, and it was the biggest trip that I've ever been on, both in terms of scope and length of time. And it was wonderful. It just exceeded my expectations. Before I even got to the hotel, when we got to the airport, I couldn't believe how beautiful the freaking airport was. But by the time we got to the hotel, once we had dinner, which was about the only thing that we had energy for the rest of that day, we got into Maui around 3:30 in the afternoon. And we got to the hotel room. I basically just stood and stared out the window for the rest of the day cuz I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The view was like something out of a storybook, overlooking the ocean and these beautiful sandy beaches, and there was palm trees waving in the wind, and there was an island in the distance with wind turbines spinning, and it was like obscured by clouds partially. We found out later that that was West Lahaina. It was so surreal. I just couldn't stop staring at it. If people ask me, what was the highlight of your trip, that was the highlight for me. This was the biggest vacation that I had taken in over 20 years. This is the first time I'd been on a plane in over 20 years. All of the pain and heartbreak and difficulty that my girlfriend and I had experienced in 2021, all the pain and heartbreak and difficulty that I've been experiencing for pretty much my whole life, it all led up to this. I was in paradise. I think it's safe to say that most humans really have some kind of fantasy about traveling to Hawaii at some point in their lives, and I was there. I was there in Hawaii, in paradise, and I loved it. The weather was beautiful every single day. It was sunny, 80 degrees, while back in New York, it was like 19 degrees. It even snowed at one point. I kept on looking at my phone, looking at the temperature back home, and it was miserable. And I'm so glad that we decided to go in the winter to get away from it all. I will say, though, regarding the weather, dress slightly, t-shirts, shorts. If you are going to try to wear jeans, you're not going to have a good time. There's so few trees in Maui that you're going to get the full brunt of the sun all the time. Dress comfortably, use that sunscreen, wear a hat, wear sunglasses. The only time it rained was when we went on the road to Hana, but we were essentially in the rainforest, so we kind of knew that this was going to happen. And it rained on and off. It didn't rain consistently. It just rained for like a few minutes at a time, and then it would stop. We did so much. We did the road to Hana. We did the Mount Haleakala sunrise tour. We did a whale watching tour. We did a luau. We did zip lining. We visited an aquarium. We did mini golf. We went to a goat farm. We went to a pineapple farm. We got 3 free Maui Gold pineapples that were delicious. And that's just the stuff that I can remember off the top of my head. The only thing that we didn't get to do was visit Lanai. There was a couple things that we wanted to do there, but we couldn't because there was a tsunami in Tonga, as some of you watching may be aware of, and we could not visit the island because we got a call that morning that all the ferries to Lanai had been canceled. We were fine. There was no real damage in our area. The only thing that I noticed was that the ocean had retreated just a little bit that morning. But besides that, we were fine. Although it was a little scary at first. My girlfriend even asked the ferry operator, "Does this thing happen, from time to time? Is this normal?" And she was like, "No." I am definitely not happy that I got shingles, which was the cause of us having to postpone our vacation until January. And I'm not happy that it ended up costing us about $3,300 more because we lost our hostess. But it turns out that if we had gone to Maui at the time that we were originally planning, first of all, we wouldn't have seen any whales because it wasn't whale season. Second of all, the weather was apparently miserable to the extent that there was some major flooding that, in fact, the island was still recovering from. There were people pointing us, to like mud and debris that washed ashore. There was like a sailboat that ran aground a month ago that was still sitting on the shore. So, in the end, we kind of lucked out, thanks to me. We would definitely go back. We didn't want to leave, to begin with. I was a little nervous about flying because, like I said, it was the first time in over 20 years that I had flown on a plane. Got a little queasy on the initial flights. We had a layover in Dallas Fort Worth. Dallas Fort Worth Airport, by the way, is a shithole. But I took a Dramamine and I felt fine afterwards. The first flight was about 3 hours. The second flight was about 7.5. That flight, I was squeezed in the middle seat between my girlfriend and some guy from Oklahoma, who thankfully was pretty nice. But yeah, that was not a pleasant flight. Before we went home, I opted to actually upgrade our seats. So we had a little bit more leg room, and that was definitely the right call because going home, the flight from Maui to Dallas Fort Worth was a lot more comfortable in those upgraded seats. Other recommendations with regards to the food was actually kind of hit or miss. Maybe it's because we're New Yorkers and we have access to so much food from so many different places around the world. I would recommend staying away from Italian and Mexican and leaning more towards Southeast Asian and seafood. I would also be very careful with regards to shopping, in particular the Lahaina shopping district. It's pretty much Maui's version of Canal Street. They have a lot of stores that sell a lot of the same things, and you will find one item that you like for a certain price in one store, and you'll find that same exact item at another store just across the way for almost half the price. Now, the people in Maui were generally very nice. People said good morning to us, perfect strangers. That is something that, as a New Yorker, I'm not used to. Almost nobody honked their horn. People actually let you cross the street. Everything was just so clean. The streets, the beaches were practically spotless. I guess people just don't litter there. Our hotel was very nice. Room was kind of on the small side, but it was adequate. It was an open air hotel, so you went down to the lobby and the beach was literally right there. There was a gym and a yoga studio, but unfortunately they were closed because of COVID. But yeah, we had a fabulous time. We didn't want to leave. We would definitely go back. Though if we did go back, we would probably go for longer so we could explore multiple islands. But there'll be plenty of pics and videos. If you haven't seen them already, I will be uploading them. I'm definitely glad that I went and I feel refreshed and I can't wait to go on my next vacation. Of course, I'm going to probably wait until my bank account recovers a little bit. Until next time, Take care of you guys and enjoy the rest of your day.